Hello everyone. Can everyone hear me? Let me know in the chat or thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, that's great. Any automaker VS landing page. I think that was day two. So welcome everyone to day five. Today is the last day for the bootcamp, and congrats everyone to attend it, and thank you for coming. And I hope that you learn a lot that you can put into practice and that can help you in your job search. So before I start today, I will do similar to yesterday. I will have a few questions in the Slido so that way we can start the interaction. And it is, as I said yesterday, it is a interactive session today also to finish, and there's also gonna have more time for Q&A at the end if you have specific question. So for the first question is how will you rate this week bootcamp, the 5 days bootcamp? Okay. Reading from more both. Give it a few more seconds before we go to the next question. Okay. Take five, one more vote. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So we're gonna close it. Next question is, how will you describe this bootcamp in one word? Informative, that's good. Super good, thank you. So, and I'm thinking also at the not at the end, but the email I'm gonna send later today, I'm also gonna put a survey so you can give feedback for the bootcamp so I can know what to update or what to keep, what to make better for any time I'm going to do it next. So we have informative, we have super good. Is there any other word description Structure. Thank you. I did take a lot of time to make sure everything is structured. Yeah, that's great. So, think I will close it for now. So we will focus about day 5, the last day for the boot camp. So, the agenda for today, we will I think I do have a last question to launch. So before I do that, so me ask the last question. It's like, have you done a mentorship program before? Mentorship or coaching? Okay, okay. So yes, I have. No, I'm open to it. Okay, curious about the person that have the mentorship or coaching program. What was it about? Okay, it was a group. Okay, so there's more votes about I'm open to it, and there's one person, no, 33% for yes, I have. Let me close it for now. Okay, so the agenda for today is we're gonna go over about the one-on-one job ready web dev mentorship with me. We're gonna talk about tracking your job application, tracking your relationship as you doing networking, set up our coffee chat calendar, and some tips about when you're doing your learning plan. And I have intend to go over one website that have uh, a list of roadmap, management, some like tips about that and what is next in Q&A. So, my name is Ellie, and I'm here to help developer launch their careers. I've been working as a front-end engineer, web development educator, and mentor. I previously worked at IBM for about 5 years, and I also a web development teacher assistant and mentor at Tech Prep, where I help college students land their first job and learn what they need to know in order to transition from college to their first role in tech. So, for the mentorship program, it is a 8 week one-on-one mentorship that kind of designed to help you in your job search and like getting hired in web development and technical skill. It's gonna be where we're gonna meet once a week on our session, and there's gonna be an ongoing support as like if you have question, if you want to learn more about something, we can always have support via email and message. And if I have a lot of other resources how to help you, I will send all of that to you. And by the end of the mentorship, have planned about how you go about build applying for job. You have a system in place about like preparing for interviews, get the confidence to talk about your skill. And also, as you saw yesterday, you're gonna have your own become job ready system fill out. I will help you with that in terms of like, because there's a lot of time that you might not even think about a few things that you could add. And when you have someone else that can ask specific question that may help you think deeper about it, and you can come up with a lot more values and skills that you already have, and you can present as valuable. So it's gonna be 8 week. The first week we will focus on having your plan, your goals, and your roadmap set up. The second week is more about creating your profile, as I showed yesterday about the create your profile and the system. We will focus on that and use that to transfer it to your resume and your LinkedIn profile. The third week is gonna be about job searching strategy and job application. And today I will go over the other part of the system where we show about the company and job to track that. So that also gonna be for week 3. Week 4 is a behavioral mock interview where you practice about doing interview or behavioral interview when they talk about yourself, talk about uh your strength, your weakness, and all that. Week 5, it will be focused on any fundamentals that you want to refresh on or learn more, and having a study plan built for like how to what gonna be the next skill or the next frameworks to go, and having time set up and to have to learn and when you're gonna practice and that. So a total study plan for that. Week 6 is about coding interview prep, and we also gonna have like a plan set up to study for a study plan for the coding interview that gonna go over data structures and algorithm, what you need to concentrate on, what you need to learn more, and how you're gonna go about practice and set up time for them. And on week 7, I will have a coding mock interview with you where gonna practice interviewing for technical interview. And week 8 is uh is a networking strategy, and that's what I'm gonna talk about when like in the system become job ready system, where we have the part about tracking the people you network with. So and then we're gonna talk about a next step and other tip or other question that you have. And so basically those 8 weeks will be all about you and help you during your job search and help you become job ready. So the program is from August 11 to October 11. The deadline to apply is July 31st. And for full investment is 2,500, but for this week until Monday, for the people that is attending the bootcamp, they will have a special offer for 1,000. And if and there's also available payment plan to make it flexible, about like 3 month deployment of $834. And if you are interested to apply right now, me me put it in the chat, the link for to apply to the bootcamp, not bootcamp, to the mentorship with me. Here's the link to apply right now. And if you want to discuss, this is another link. This is my consultation link, 1 hour consultation that I will talk about it also uh, at the end of today. So is the link to apply right now to the mentorship program. And if you want to talk more about it and to see how is it a good fit for you, here is the calendar link that you can reserve a time either today or next week to discuss more. Is there any question? Okay, there's no question. So we're gonna talk about tracking your job application. So I'll taking about the keeping track of where you apply, when, and how you follow up, and also tracking your relationship. So the reason I'm going to both sides is because we're gonna talk about the Become Job Ready system, and it's gonna cover both of those. So tracking your job application and tracking your relationship and think of like people that you met and where and following up because it is important to follow up. When you met someone, you exchange contact either on LinkedIn or anyway. It's important to follow up either the same day or the next day. Don't wait longer than that. And the following up can be just a little take a message about that we met at this time and at this event, and is there a time that they can talk with you, have a coffee chat, or like to learn more about them? So let me go about the Become Job Ready system. So yesterday we talked about uh the profile part. Today we will talk about the company and jobs and the build professional relationship. So the company and jobs. So that's the page about where you're gonna track where you apply for and everything about that. So there's in that part there's one of the page that we have list of dream companies and that is not just when I will go and at first it's not just having the list of company that you like, but there's a set of like setup that you can do to have a classification of all of the companies. So you can start with 40 companies and go as long as companies. So it's a method called LAMP, which I got from the book called the 2 Hour Job Search, which I find it useful in terms of like classifying the top company for yourself. So how do you go about it? So you can start with 40 companies, and I think I did about 100 or 140 when I was doing mine. And that's the table right here. It's like you have the company name. For the L is the list, is the company name. For A is advocacy, is do you know someone in the company that can refer you or can talk about you and kind of like advocate for you in the company. That's for A. M is motivation. It's like how ready are you and how willing are you to take action to like reach out to someone in there to apply to do research for that company. And P is for posting. It's like if you're looking for a specific role, this company have a role that is close to it, how close it is to what you're looking for. So and that's where like I have the scoring system in terms of like from 0 to 3. You can see for the advocacy is yes or no. For the motivation is from 0 to 3, and the process is from 0 to 3. So from 0 to 3, are you ready for the motivation? Are you ready to take action now? Are you interested? But you may act soon, but not ready now. Do you have like just a little interest, but you're not likely to do some action, or are you not planning to do anything about that company? And for the postings, it's the same order. It's like perfect job. It's like that's the perfect match for what you're looking for. The two is like it's close to what you want. You can go for it. The one is like somewhat related. It's like general. It's kind of like, for example, if you're looking for a front-end engineer role, and there's like a software engineer that's kind of general, that's specifically to front end. And zero is like all of the posts you see about the company, nothing is relevant to what you're looking for. So that way is kind of like using this method, you fill out this table and you have the name of the company. I put the number because it's gonna specifically create an ID based on how you put the name. There's the advocacy, motivation, and posting. So it is already sorted, but if, for example, the sorting is messed up. The sorting is based on you have the motivation first, the posting, and the advocacy. And this gonna sort the list into your top company. So that way you can take your top 10 to 20 company and put it on that list. So you know, okay, those are my top company. If I can focus on those company and look for people that's working there, reach out to people applying. But it doesn't mean that you only gonna apply for those company. It means that those company are your priorities, are your top preferred company you would like to work for. So that's the list, the part for the list of dream companies. And here I put the section is if you see a company or a job posting and you don't have a time to look at it, you just copy the link and put it there, and you can put it for later to do more research and to look at it. Here is also the part that if you find any resources or tools that can help you during your application process, during your job search, you put it there so it's always there. You can click on and go. This table is where we're gonna have the company job tracking. So the way I decide to do it, I decide to do it per company, and each company you can have a list of job there. So you can track every job you apply for each company. So right now, if I'm going here and I create a new, it's gonna automatically create a company page. And from the company page, I put the source. The source is where the source is more for the job, but it's where did you find the job? So, but I'm gonna go over job later. So there's the website of the company, headquarter of the company. So I'm gonna leave those. There's a lot of the property that's related to the jobs, and I'm gonna focus. I think the industries of the company. Funding, that's depend on if you're working with startup, they might have a stage for funding or amount of funding if you want to add that information there. Specialties, if they focus on a specific specialty tech stack, their LinkedIn link, their blog link, Instagram and Twitter. So you have all of those property information about the company. And this table right here is for the jobs. So you can see when you click on new job, it's gonna create this job. So that way you can see here, I have the company name and I have the job show up. So for each company, I will have a job, the job I apply for. And when I go to the job itself, you can see now for the job, I have the job type if it's temporary, contract, part-time, full-time, the job URL, if it's remote or not, and office, hybrid, remote. We have the application date, so you know when you apply. We have the application status. So I also give the option when when I was talking about when you research for a job and you not apply yet, you can put it as a leads. So you know when you know that you have this job there, you can put it as a lead that you can apply later. There's those status, there's the apply, coding assessment, phone screen, at interviewing. So if you end in the interviewing phase, offer if you in the offer phase. And when it's done, it's like either the job is canceled or you got rejected or you decline the offer or you accept the offer. So all of that are in there. Later status date is in the sense that every time you change the status, application status, you also change the date so you know when was the last date that this status changed. Because I think that also help you to track about if a job is ghosted because you like if is I apply for the job and it's been 3 months and nothing changed, most likely ghosted. And we have a number, like we can check on that if it was a referral. We have a number of interviews, minimum salary, and the job description maximum salary. if you add the recruiter information, which is important, and like when, especially from phone screen or for communicating with you, have the recruiter name, recruiter email, recruiter phone number. That's in the stage of the offer. If you give you an offer amount, you put it there and start date. If you get accepted the offer and you have a start date, put it there. So all of this information and the properties of the job. And here I like also to put like the part for the job description. You can open this and you see about us, about the role, responsibility, and the requirement. The reason I put the job description here is because there's a lot of time you might have the link there. You go to the link and it's not there anymore because they already remove it. And if that happens during our interview process, it's gonna be uh it's gonna be hard for you like to remember a certain thing about the job when the job description was is out, is disappeared during the interview process. So that's why I think it's important to have also the record of the job description. So it's basically copy it from the job description itself and put it here. So you have your own record for it. And this part is like any interviews you have, taking notes and write out what happened, like the dates, who you talked to, the question they asked you, how did you feel about it? And the note section is taking any other notes, anything that's in out. So that way, for each company you apply for each job you apply for, you have a record, a note, and that can also help you to improve during that process and learn from what you did before. Is there any question for for that part? Okay. So this is the company and job which is kind of like help you to keep track of uh your job search process. Here we have the build professional relationship that help you keep track of people that you meet or people you want to reach out to or you want to learn more about during either during the job search or during anything so you can build connection with people. So the same way I have a link to research for this one, I have a profile to look up. And the reason for that, you might meet someone or you might see a profile, but at that time you don't have the time to look at it right away. So you can just copy the link and paste it here so you can check it later. So I have the connection database. So the connection database, that's where you're gonna create a new page and it's gonna be for the people. And for that, you're gonna add the name, you have the LinkedIn URL, the company they're working for, the job title, the industry, outreach status. You can see that there's multiple status in terms of like, so that way you can keep track of what are you doing with that person when you out it. There's archive or pause, like if you're taking a break from communicating from networking with that person. There's added to network, like if you were sending a LinkedIn request and they accepted, you added to network. Gratitude sent, like when they add you or anything that they do and you saying thank you, that's like you change that status. No response, yes. It's like if you DM them or communicate with them and they haven't responded. We connected is for people that you haven't talked to with or talk with for a long time and you want to you reach out to them and we connect with them. Add a chat, you add a coffee chat with that person, you change that status. You schedule a chat, you send a link or something that you schedule a coffee chat with that, you have the status for here. share our resources. That's one thing that you can do during networking. Like, someone is looking for a type of people, or someone is interested by a certain topic. You share article, you share someone that can help them. You connect with people. So it's kind of like sharing resources. And conversation, friendly DM sent, light intro sent. So if the friendly DM, so if you like someone you build in relationship and you sending a direct message to them, light intros is like you introducing yourself to them. You sending a LinkedIn invite, that's you have the status and not contacted yet is for, as I said, you have the information of the person, but you haven't contacted that person. And there's connection origin, which is like where did you meet with the person, that you always reminding of that. Relationship role is what kind of role that you want for that relationship. Do you want it as someone that can help you in your job search? Do you want it as someone that you want to become friend? Do you want it as someone you want to become a mentor? So what's gonna be the role? And the same for the connection focus, and is similar, but the reason put it I put two of them is kind of like you can give more detail, and the relationship role is more of like a title, like mentor, uh friend, but the connection focus is more like why you want to connect with that person, so you can give more detail in that sense. Level of connection, similar is kind of like if you want to be close, or if you want to be someone like you're gonna communicate, like let's say each quarter. So is it someone that you just communicate like let's say there's a holiday, so that's kind of like how close you want the connection to be. And engagement with them is similar, but we have close, active, occasional, passive, dormant. So that is for the person itself and how much you interact with them. So if you always talk with them, that's gonna be active. If you talk with them from time to time, like each quarter or when something happen, and then you're not gonna talk anymore. It's kind of like occasional. Passive, uh, passive is kind of like you probably talk when we met, but you not really have on any other kind of engagement. You just rarely talk, but you just send something to them. Dormant is for someone that you know, but you probably never talk with them for in a while. And that's where you need to reconnect with them. Close is those like relationship that you were like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna have a relationship with that person anymore, and kind of close that. So, and share history is like if someone you worked before with, and you are someone that you went to school with, so you know that what did we share together? Is there some history between me and that person? Last thing we talk about, I think that is important for people to know in terms of like anytime you reconnect with that person, you can say, oh, you can mention about that and continue the conversation. Last contacted is the last time you talk with that person, that you can keep track of that. Next action is anything that you want to do with that person. If you want to reconnect with it, if you want to like schedule a coffee chat, if you want to send a DM, so you put that as the next action and you put a due date. It kind of like, okay, by tomorrow or by this next Monday, I'm gonna do that. So that way you don't forget, and you kind of like keep interacting and keep yourself accountable. And this is empty, but it's a space to like take any notes and anything you want to add more for that way you can have a better relationship with that connection. So, and also it's optional. You can also add image You can also add an image to this. So basically, let's say if I add an image, you're gonna see what happened. Let me choose a on Splash and kind of like look for a profile image. So if you add an image today, so you can see right here, you're gonna give the name of the person and it show the image. So by just looking at the connection, you can see who is that person. Is there any question for that? Is everything clear? Okay. So so this system also that's like I have explanation about everything and the first page. I also have helpful resources. So for example, for the job seeking website, there's multiple site for looking, you can looking for jobs. So there's LinkedIn, there's Tech Job for Good, there's Built-in NYC if you're in New York, Well Found. There's also Simplify. And also there's one link that I will post into the chat, which I will add it to the resources later, is is helpful in terms of like looking for which company is hiring right now, still hiring that today. So this system will be available. I will send in the email about how to get it, and it will be free for everyone in the bootcamp. So as soon as I let you know, and then you can get it. And if you getting the mentorship, I will help you to go to the system and fill it out and insert for you and create your own become job ready system. Okay, so the other part I want to talk about, I mentioned it about that to set up a coffee chat. So one of the things that is important when you're doing one of the things that is important is make it easy for people to set up time with you. And one way to make it easy is to set up a calendar where they can book a time with you. So I will go quickly over that. And if you have a Gmail, a Google Calendar, you can do that. So basically, what I think, I don't remember if it this year or last year, I think probably this year, they uh they have what we call appointment schedule. So this is my professional. I mean, go to the personal one because it's also available to Gmail. But you won't be able to do it on your phone. It's gonna be on your computer or when you go to the browser to open the calendar. So when you click on create, you can see appointment schedule. So when you can click on appointment schedule and it open this page where you can give it a title, coffee chat. So if your name and I will say to choose 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes. I will go for 30 minutes. And you can decide how you gonna repeat it. If it's each week you're gonna have one, every 2 weeks, but weekly is good. And decide which day and which time. If you don't want Monday, let's say, you can erase it. You don't want Friday, you can take it out and say, okay, probably let's say from 3 to 7. So and that way you have a time set up like from 3 to 7. I can say I can have a time to chat with someone. It's 30 minute chat with someone. Okay, then you can decide about like what's the maximum time in advance? So can this person like schedule you're in July right now. Can this person schedule a coffee chat with you in 2 months later, which is like September? If you don't want that, you can like change it to like 30 days, like a month. And what is the minimum time? Usually I like to have 18 hours or 24 hours so that way you can have enough time to prepare for the coffee chat, like prepare question, prepare what you're gonna talk about and all that. So then is that, see, if there's a specific date you want to add more, you can add that. So I think other than that, you can choose which calendar you want to add that, and then when you go to next, you add the description, chat with me, the description what you want to talk about. Here, uh, is either in person or phone call or none. When you choose none, you can specify later where it is. But I think if you want to put a Zoom link, you probably will do none, and then when it's booked, you put the Zoom link. But if you want to do automatically online, it's gonna be Google Meet video, so it's gonna automatically create the link. And the booking form, like if you want more at that time, so first name, last name, email. Let's say I want to add a custom like LinkedIn required. So, and any other question that I want to ask before I I talk with that person. And you can also have it check so it's send confirmation and it's send reminder. And then you can also, I think, let me go back because there's one part where you can add a break between the 30 minutes because right now you don't see that there's that much break between them. So for the scheduling windows, there's like the start and end it. If you don't want to like go forever, you can start now and then you end it. Like let's say I'm gonna do that for a month and I end it like in August 18. So it's gonna have the availability until that where people can schedule. And yes, the book appointment setting, the buffer time. So when you go in buffer time, you check it. Now you can choose like a time between, so you have enough time break between coffee chats. If there's a lot of people that book you, you can also choose how many coffee chats you want to have per day. So let's say I don't want to have more than 3 or 4, so I can do that. So it's not the person not gonna, if there's like 3 or 4 people that book, no, it's gonna close for the day. Okay. So that way, when you're done with that, you save it. Now you have the coffee chat with Ellie, and that way you can share this link. You can share the link, copy the link, and when a person go into it, and it's gonna show okay, what the date and the time I'm available. This make it easier in terms of like when you're talking with someone and you decide to ask for a coffee chat, you can tell them what you can ask them when they are available, and if it's easier for them, they can just book a time in your calendar and you send them the link. Was this clear and was everything good? Did I go too fast in terms of that? Because I think this is really great and make it easier for you to book a coffee chat and talk and meet with people. Okay, good. So learning plan. The tip I would say about is the first thing is know what you're learning and why you're learning it. Uh, is when you have a reason, and that way is keep you more motivated and keep you going because you know why. And don't try to learn everything at once. Focus on either one or two skills to learn, especially for web development. Don't just watch. When you're learning, when you're watching, practices build as you're learning. And in terms of learning, limit your learning session to 2 hours or less. Usually, when you get to like 25 minutes, you might probably start to feel tired. You learning a lot, but the maximum is usually 1 hour and 30 minutes, and you're probably not gonna learn anything more after 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's just forcing yourself to do something that you're not gonna keep. So that's why it's important to uh limit yourself to 2 hours uh or less. Less is better. And if you need to have more hour of learning, is kind of like better to take break between. The more hours you take to learn, the more time you take to learn, the more time of break you need. So what I wanted to go over for this part is a website where I do is roadmap.sh. So I'm gonna put the link here. So this does have a roadmap about what you need to know for different roles in web development and software engineer. If I start with front end, you will see that for front end is start with what you need to know about the internet, and then HTML, then CSS, then JavaScript, then Git version control, then hosting. So there's it going to a lot of different things. And a lot of the time, people think they need to know all of it before they start to apply for work before the work. The reality is, let's say, for example, for front end for web development, let's say you get to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you're good enough to start and apply. And as you applying and as you working, you learning the rest. You're learning the rest and you are building your skills. So it's not that you need to know all of this to get a role. Is that as you growing up, that's like particularly what you're gonna see that you learning, you know about as you grow up and getting to know a lot more. So as I say, for example, for front end or web development, once you know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you know most of it. And as you're doing HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you're gonna learn about version control system because if you're using GitHub, they're using Git, and that's you're gonna learn about that. You're gonna learn about VS Hosting as you're doing it because you're gonna use GitHub. You're gonna learn about when you start to working with framework like React, you're gonna learn about package manager. And but like I always say, once you know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, if you're thinking about front end and web development, start by looking for which role you can apply for. Once you know one framework like React or one of those framework, you're ready for most of the entry level jobs. And as you applying and you going up your skill, you're gonna learn about Tailwind. You probably gonna learn about BM. You're gonna learn about those SaaS as you applying, as you building, because that's one of the reasons that it's good to build. As you building, you're gonna learn about those building tools, the testing tools. So as you going in your skill and putting it into practice, you're gonna learn about mm, most of them, if not all of them. But as I say, to start and to know when you to start and to start to apply as soon as you know JavaScript or you know one framework, you can start applying. Don't tell yourself that you need to know all of this in order to be ready. So, and the reason I say that roadmap and I talk about it and the learning plan is that help you to, okay, you know what you know already, and then you can think about, okay, I probably gonna learn this next and make a plan about how I gonna learn it, what resources, if it's an article or a course or a YouTube video I'm gonna watch to learn it, how I gonna put it into practice. So because you cannot just watch and learn, and you're gonna have the illusion that you know, but when you start to practice, you don't know anything. So I'm gonna put it to practice, set up like 20 minutes to 1 hour, uh, a few days or each day to do that. So that's kind of like the plan, and also like the roadmap. Time management, which I start to talk about that when I'm thinking about the learning plan, the job search, networking with people. Don't take, don't let that take your full time. A lot of the time, it does seem that job searching is a full-time job by itself. But to avoid burnout, to avoid being kind of like so overwhelmed and tired every time you spend hours doing job search and apply, and then you get rejection, and then you all nobody answer, and you like, I spend all those time and I'm not getting any result, and you're tired, you're overwhelmed. So don't let the job search be your full time. Take like 2 to 4 hours either daily if you can, or if you cannot, alternate the days. So and break it into like 20 to 60 minutes. So you can see like I'm gonna take 20 to 16 to 1 hour to do to search for a job, or 20 to 1 hour to prepare for interview, 20 to 1 hour to learn and practice what I'm learning, coding and all that, or 20 to 1 hour to network. So and if you the reason I say 4 hours, if you take 1 hour for each, it's gonna be 4 hours. If you mix it up, it's gonna be less than 4 hours. So, and there's sometimes you can batch tax. And what I mean by that, for example, if you're looking for a job, a lot of time we have the process, we have the entire process at once, in the sense that we do the research for one job, then we find a job, then we apply, and and we take some time to apply, and then we go to the next one, and we end up spend like 1 to 2 hours, and we apply for just 5 jobs. And that's why kind of like it's better to batch tax, in terms of like, let's say I'm gonna take 1 hour to just research and get a list of jobs that I'm qualified for. Look at the job, do I meet 60 to 70% of it? Take the link, put it on the tracker, and then I have a list, probably 50 to 100 jobs that every day you can, okay, today I'm gonna apply to 5 to 10, and I already have the jobs there, and I just apply. So you prepare before, like 1 hour before, you have a list, and it might take like 10 to 20 minutes to just do the application the other days of the week. So it kind of like help you in your time management in terms of that. And the same thing for interview prep, you might kind of like decide, I'm gonna take a few hours, let's say 1 hour, a few days where I'm doing the learning part, like reading, researching, and all that. And other days you just do one lead code. And doing one lead code might take 5 to 20 minutes. So it's kind of like help you to be more consistent. It's better to take 20 minutes to 1 hour and be consistent with that, instead of spending 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, and someday you not be able to do that, so you miss it and you starting over. So what is next? I hope that you from this weekend you learn a lot, and that gonna help you to take step and execute and it and being able to help you with your job search and learning jobs. So for me, if you want to work more with me, I do have different other thing that I also do. I have a free newsletter that you can subscribe to. where I share web development tips and career tips that you can apply to your career. And I also share also my own story and how it can either help you and inspire you. Every week I do a webinar, introduction to web development webinar. So if you want to continue to learn more about web development, and there's one next week, next Thursday, every Thursday at 7 p.m., where I'm just coding. While I'm coding, I'm also explaining certain concept and certain fundamentals things. So it's basically me coding and explaining what I'm doing, and so that way you can learn from that. And if you want like a 1 hour consultation to help with either a resume review or some advice or anything in terms of web development or code, I also have a 1 hour one-on-one consultation where you can book uh, a session with me. But most importantly, going back to the mentorship program that gonna happen from August 11th to October 11th, and the deadline to apply is July 31st. So take advantage of this week offer that's gonna end on Monday, July 21st for $1,000. Other than that, it's gonna be the full investment for 2,500, and if for flexibility, there's a payment plan available. So if you are interested, apply now. So you can use the link about the mentorship uh, that I'm putting on the chat to apply. And also you can use the calendar invite if you want to know more and talk about it more. And I would say that's it for today. And thank you for everyone to be there for my first bootcamp. And I hope you learn a lot. And I hope that help you with your job search. And I hope that you learn a job soon. So I'm gonna stay for a few minutes for Q&A if you have any question that I can answer for you. Thank you. Okay. So do you want it to have it personally, or is it as a general Q&A? Okay, yeah, you can ask it right now. It's the section for Q&A. So any question? Okay, yeah, for sure. Thank you, Vicky. So what are the schools that you're about?